So I heard you were in a little bit of a funk. That's okay, don't worry. We all get through it. We all go through it. And we all get through it, okay? So today's video, we're gonna be talking about how to get out of a slump quickly. But before I rush into today's topic, I wanted to introduce myself. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Michael Young, also known as Forever Young. And then for those of you that are joining us again today, welcome back. Glad to have you again today. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel, okay? Because we are gonna grow this channel and we're gonna help some people out, okay? After that, if you feel the vibe of this video, you feel the energy, you feel the essence, go ahead and like the video for me, okay? Because it helps the channel grow, and also as far as the logarithm, that fancy word goes, it helps this video get out there. I need you to comment on the video if you feel like you have any questions, you feel like you have any statements, you just want to show some love. And then last but not least, turn on that notification bell, because when I drop videos, I want you guys to get notified so they're fresh off the plate, okay? So getting into today's topic, okay? How to get out of a funk quickly, okay? On this channel, everything is clear, transparent, and from the horse's mouth. I'm not giving you anybody else's knowledge. I'm giving you my experience and also my wisdom, my knowledge that I've gathered in this 27 years of life. So I'm only gonna give you about 2 or 3 tips. Get your pen and paper, because we're gonna start now. Tip number 1, when it comes to getting out of a funk quickly, okay? Don't get in a funk. And no, that was not a joke, okay? I'm not joking, playing with you guys. You're like, wow, okay, this guy's just busting my balls. You know, this guy's just messing with us. What I mean by don't get in a funk is when you're going through your day, when you're going through your morning, when you're at work, monitor yourself. Make sure you're checking in with your star player. Shout out to Cat Williams. Make sure you're checking in with your star person, you. How are you feeling? How is this environment right now making me feel? How are these transactions with these individuals throughout my day making me feel? Oh, I don't really like this area. I don't really like this environment. Okay, well, let's take note of that. Because I can tell you what, when it comes to getting in a funk, there's so many things out there, especially if you're working on the front line. Shout out to you frontline workers. Especially when you're working at home on the computer, there's a lot of people that you come into engagement with. And sometimes we like to be a people pleaser. Sometimes we like to act like our don't stink, okay? I don't want to curse because I know some kids might be watching this, but sometimes we may be doing too much on the outside when we're not doing enough on the inside. You guys understand that? So when it comes to getting out of a funk quickly, the first thing I would do is I would make sure I'm taking note, especially if I'm in a new environment. What's going on? How am I feeling? Oh, did I not like that? Why did I not like that? Okay, cool. Now that is addressed, and I consciously addressed it, I don't even have to worry about it anymore. Because as soon as I put my consciousness on it, God does the rest, right? Tip number 2. Tip number 2. How do I get out of a funk quickly? Now you guys are gonna like this one because it requires no effort. You ready? I like this one. This is my favorite one. Don't get out of the funk. Stay in the funk. Stay in the funk. But for real, all jokes aside, you probably laughed with me even though you're in a funk right now. Stay in the funk, because I'll tell you what, it's not just a funk. It's not just a funk. It's a class. It's a lesson. Class is in session. Funk class is in session. We about to learn a lesson. okay? So what I mean by stay in the funk kind of almost touches our tip number 1. What I mean by stay in the funk is that you don't want to get out of where you are, because that's data, that's information. Because if you're somewhere where you don't want to be, then exactly in that moment gives you the chance to realize that, to put consciousness on that. I don't feel good? Okay. Well, I'm not going to rush to try and make myself feel better, because then I'm just chasing that and then I'm not going to get that. It's all about energy. So if I don't feel good, then that's for a damn good reason. So you know what? I'm going to take this blessing. This is what people mean when it's a blessing in disguise. Now I'm going to take this time. I don't feel great. Fine. I'm not going to feel great. Usually sometimes when you don't feel good, you want to eat, you know, or you want to you want to just watch television all day, or you just want to play video. Fine. Just do it. Do the easy stuff, right? A lot of people think when you get into a funk that you have to go above and beyond to get yourself out of the funk, when really you're just making yourself funkier. You're just making yourself feel worse. We're not here to work hard. We're here to flow. Okay? So when you get into a funk, just get into it. Just get up into it. Oh, how do I feel? Right? Okay. And I swear to you, the sooner that you submit to that funkiness is the quicker you start to get happy. Just because you're not trying to change who you are. And anytime you're trying to change who you are, this is a side note, side tip. Anytime you're trying to change who you are, you're already gonna feel terrible, because you came complete, baby. You came assembled fully. All you gotta do is put water on it. Chia. I'm fooling around, but really, I'm dead serious at the same time, guys. I just like to have fun. Tip number 2, how to get out of a funk quickly. Get into that funk. Own up to that funk. Own it. And as soon as you start to own it, for whatever reason, you start to be nice to yourself, right? I don't know why we're not doing that enough these days. We need to be nice to ourselves more. But as soon as all right, you know what? I'm just gonna sit over here to the side. You're not turning around and going back down the hill, all that progress. You're just gonna take a little second and take a breather. And while you stay into that funk, and while you take that breather, the universe opens up your eye. Oh, man, I was working a little too hard yesterday. And I could tell by the time I got to the 10th hour of work, I was pissed. And now I brought some of that pissed over. So next time I might cut myself off at 8 and then come back tomorrow and pick up where I left off. Yeah, that. And then you start talking to yourself, right? Because nobody knows the answers besides you. So how do you find the answers? You stay in that funk. You start to talk. You start to think, man, how did I get into this? You're just being honest with yourself. How did I get into this funk? Because when you ask questions, that's when solutions come. And when solutions come, that's when you have aligned action. We don't just like to take action, because that means we're working hard. When I talk about flowing versus working hard, that's what I mean by aligned action. So when we sit in this funk and we ask questions, we get solutions. When we get solutions, we jump out of our chair because we're so excited, we gotta go do it. You understand? So tip number 2, don't run away from the funk. Because again, in that funk, in that rut, in that off-putting feeling that you have right now, that's the answer for you to never, ever go back there again. Come on now. Come on now. I'm talking to myself and I got the chills. Woo! Let me say that one more time. Don't run away from that funk. Because within that funk, that is the answer for you to never go back there again. Man, I don't even know if we should do a third tip. No, we should. We'll do one more tip. Tip number 3, when it comes to how to get out of a funk quickly. And we kind of started talking about it on tip number 2. This is by far one of the easiest yet hardest tips to do. Just because, again, some of the hardest things in life are the easiest things to understand, right? And by the way, easy and hard, I'm only using that on this video just so I can relate to you guys and give you guys some kind of a place bar. As far as my vocabulary, nothing's hard for me. Nothing. And we'll get into another video when we talk about mindset, okay? Because you choose what's hard for you and what's easy for you. But I don't want to get too far down that path. Last but not least, guys, tip number 3, and I say this with the most authenticism I can say. Be nice to yourself. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You stub your toe, don't beat yourself up. Give some love to that toe. And then make sure you watch where you're walking. You know what I'm saying? But when I tell you guys to be nice to yourself, I know it seems, oh, okay, be nice to myself. But really, when you feel like you've messed up, don't say, what are you doing? Don't let your ego do that to you. Don't let your ego put you in a corner and pin you to any of the actions that you've taken in the past that may not have fulfilled your present moment. Because all actions are steps that we take, whether it be an action that is successful or an action that is a lesson or a loss. I call losses lessons. But you need to be your best friend the whole way through. You need to be your biggest cheerleader the whole way through. Because I'm going to tell you why. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And the way that we're created, that is our superpower. Our power of consciousness. Our power of being aware that we are all about love. And that's all we want is love. That's all we want. All we want to do is to be loved. Whether it's a means through money, whether it's a means through somebody else, whether it's a means through anything, an accomplishment, we all want that object because of love. So when I say, when you get into a funk, just love yourself. And the sooner you authentically, genuinely, truly love yourself, the quicker you not only come out of that rut, but you grow from it and you learn from it, so you don't have to go back there again. I hope, I do hope, but also I hope I help someone today. Again, if you like this, if it resonated with you, like the video. If you like this content, if you like this vibe, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna grow this baby. We're gonna grow it. We're gonna grow it. Leave a comment if you have any questions, if you have any statements, opinions, anything. If you want to show some love, go ahead and leave a comment. And last but not least, turn on that notification bell, because when I drop these gems, when I drop this content, I want you guys to be the first ones to see it and get it. Anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in with me. And until the next video, I'm out of here. Peace.